The presidential debate left no doubt that neither President Trump nor President Biden is prepared to unify our nation. In fact, their rhetoric and their actions will only divide us further. I've made the heart-wrenching decision to suspend my campaign and to support President Trump. If an establishment Democrat wins, or if Donald Trump wins, the cold civil war is only going to intensify. We're going to get more of the same, more division, more poverty, more debt, and all of these crises will only accelerate. Don't you want a president who's going to get us out of the wars and who's going to rebuild the middle class in this country? He put a Goldman guy in charge of the Treasury Department, an Exxon CEO in charge of State Department, a pharma president in charge of HHS, a Verizon lobbyist in charge of the FCC. Don't you want the regulatory agencies to be free from corporate corruption? And that's what President Trump told me that he wanted. Coal and oil lobbyists to run EPA and the Department of Interior, respectively. A big ag robber baron as the head of the Department of Agriculture, and the neocon militarist John Bolton as National Security Advisor. He also told me that he wanted to end the grip of the neocons on U.S. foreign policy. I'm not a fan of President Trump. I want to beat him in a campaign on a level playing field. I want to talk about his issues, about locking down the economy, shutting down 3.3 million businesses, about running up a $34 trillion debt, about engaging us in forever wars and doing favors for Wall Street. Don't you want a president who's going to get us out of the wars and who's going to rebuild the middle class in this country? His pick as vice president is a salute to the CIA and to the intelligence community and to the military-industrial complex. Their gravy train is going to continue.
Are you going to actively campaign for President Trump?
Yes, I will. I'm going to work to get him elected. He reauthorized FISA and the Patriot Act. President Trump shut down 3.3 million businesses. President Trump said that he was going to run America like a business. And he came in and he gave the keys to all of our businesses to a 50-year bureaucrat who'd never been elected to anything and had no accountability. He closed down 3.3 million businesses with no due process, no just compensation, in violation of the Fifth Amendment. With the lockdowns, the mask mandates, the travel restrictions, President Trump presided over the greatest restriction on individual liberties this country has ever known. Don't you want a president who's going to protect America's freedoms? And who is going to protect us against totalitarianism? He didn't stand up for the Constitution when it really mattered. He broke his promise to declassify the JFK assassination files. President Trump also assaulted the First Amendment, or failed to defend press freedom when he continued President Obama's persecution and prosecution of Julian Assange. The Trump White House also went after the Fourth Amendment prohibitions against warrantless searches and seizures with its intrusive track and trace surveillance systems that obliterated our rights to privacy in this country. Don't you want a president who's going to protect America's freedoms and who is going to protect us against totalitarianism? President Trump's beloved Operation Warp Speed shut down jury trials for any corporation that was involved in COVID countermeasures. Here's what the Seventh Amendment says. No American shall be denied the right of a trial before a jury of his peers in cases or controversies exceeding $25. There is no pandemic exception. And the waiver of the Seventh Amendment for corporations that were involved in countermeasures meant that no matter how reckless the corporation behaved, no matter how negligent it was, no matter how toxic or unnecessary the ingredients, no matter how shoddy the testing, no matter how grievous your injury, you could not sue that company. They had a ticket to make anything they want without any kind of accountability. And don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again? President Trump has told me that he wants this to be his legacy. I'm choosing to believe that this time he will follow through.